With the recent news on crypto exchanges filing for bankruptcy, we need to take measures in storing our crypto assets in a safer place. And also, storing your crypto assets on crypto exchanges does not give you the full control of your assets because you don't own the private keys to those crypto assets. So the safest way to store your cryptocurrencies is to keep them in a cold storage wallet or hardware wallet like Ledger Nano X. The benefits of using hardware wallets include keeping your cryptos offline so that they are out of reach from hackers and malwares, and also helping you move the cryptos out of exchanges so that your cryptos are under your control. Hi everyone, I'm Joe here, and today I'm doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up Ledger Nano X so that you can keep your cryptos in a hardware wallet without breaking a sweat. If that's what you're about, please stay until the very end of this video. And now, let's dive into it. Here's a quick overview of Ledger. Ledger has been around since 2014 and they have sold over 3 million Ledger wallets so far. And Ledger also claims that none of their crypto wallets have ever been hacked, which is very impressive. So it will give peace of mind to crypto investors who want to keep their crypto assets in a secure place. Here is Ledger Nano X, and it is shipped from France. It's where Ledger headquarters is at. The box comes with plastic wrapping which shows the authenticity of the device, and it's similar to the packaging of a new phone. If you are planning to get a Ledger wallet, I would recommend you to get from ledger.com and not from a third-party merchant like amazon.com. This will lower the chances of the device being tampered. Now I'm going to do a quick unboxing of Ledger Nano X before I start the setup process of the Ledger wallet. Now I'm going to open this Ledger Nano X box and I will show you what's inside this package. Alright, so I'm gonna open this box by sliding it to the side, and I'm going to open the box, and we have Ledger Nano X, and we have this shiny Ledger logo right here, and on the back we have resilience by design. And so you have to slide open to set up this Ledger device, but we're going to jump on it in a bit. And we have USB to USB-C cable, and let's see what's inside this packet. So we have this instruction manual, like a brief intro, and it says go to www.ledger.com/start to start the setup process. And we have the instruction guide, and we have 3 recovery sheets where we can mark 24 seed phrases or recovery phrases that allows you to access your crypto assets. So I would recommend you to mark it on a piece of paper or on these cards and not store it on any electronic devices like your laptop or on your phone. And we have the manual on how to use and how to take care of Ledger Nano X. And finally, we have Ledger stickers. So that's it. That's all included in the Ledger Nano X package. Alright, so now before we start setting up Ledger Nano X device, we need to download Ledger Live app on our computer or on smartphone to be able to communicate with the Ledger device. So for this tutorial, I will be using my computer to set up Ledger Nano X. So I will go to ledger.com/start. So we're on ledger.com/start, and we will download the software that is compatible with our operating system. Alright, now it's being installed, and now I'm going to open the Ledger Live app. Alright, so we are on Ledger Live app on the desktop version, and I will be going step by step along with setting up Ledger device and also on the Ledger Live app as well. Alright, now we have two options, and there is Get Started, and if you don't have Ledger Nano X, then you will buy it from there, or you can go use my link down below in the description to purchase Ledger Nano X. Since I already have Ledger Nano X, I'm going to click Get Started. Alright, so I'm going to choose Ledger Nano X. If this is your first time using Ledger Nano X, then you will choose Setup as a new Nano X. But if you already own a Ledger device and you purchase another Ledger device for a backup or recovery, then you can choose the third option right here. But now I'm going to click Setup as a new device. Here are some basics that you need to know about cryptos and the benefits of using cold storage wallet like Ledger Nano X. So here, access your crypto, and your crypto assets are stored on the blockchain, and you need the private key to access and manage them. So I'm gonna click continue, and it says own your private key. And the purpose of having private key is that you are the true owner of your crypto assets. The beauty of using Ledger Wallet is that only the private keys are stored on the Ledger device and not the cryptos, because the cryptos are stored on the blockchain. And the private keys give you access to those cryptocurrencies. I hope it makes sense. And there is even a saying that if you don't own the private keys to your cryptos, you don't actually own them. So that's the idea of having cryptocurrencies on exchanges, where you don't actually own your cryptocurrencies. Alright, we will move on to the next step, and I'll click continue and stay offline. Your Nano works as a core storage wallet. This means that it never exposes your private key online, even when using the app. So this method is very secure, and even when you connect your Ledger Nano X to your computer, which is connected to the internet, people can't get access to the private keys without having access to your Ledger Nano X device. So now I'm going to click continue for the next step. Validate transactions. So Ledger Live allows you to buy, sell, manage, exchange, and earn crypto while remaining protected. You will validate every crypto transaction with your Nano. This Ledger Live app is very powerful, and it allows you to basically manage your cryptos under your control. And don't use other third-party app to connect with your Ledger device, because there is a chance that security might be compromised. Alright, so now is the time to start setting up your Ledger Nano X. Before we start setting Ledger Nano X, there are a few things that we need to keep in mind. First, we need to block out at least 30 minutes to set up your Ledger device. And also, one last thing is to make sure you are alone and make sure no one is around, so that your recovery phrases are for your eyes only. Alright, so let's proceed, and I'm gonna click I'm ready. So these are the step-by-step guides to set up Ledger Nano X properly. And the first step is to turn on Ledger Nano. And to do that, we need to connect the device with the USB cable to your computer. So don't worry if you don't have USB cable, because Ledger has already provided you with USB cable. When you start setting up Ledger Nano X, it should show you the welcome screen to make sure that it is not tampered with, but we will check whether it is genuine in a few steps down the line. So stay tuned. And one thing to keep in mind, Ledger has only two buttons, and right button is to scroll right, and left button is to scroll to the left. So now I'm going to click the right button. It says download Ledger Live at ledger.com/start, but we have already done that. So I'm going to scroll to the right. Use buttons to navigate the menus. And if you want to choose an option, then we will press both buttons to select that option or feature. And there is another feature, and if you press both buttons for like 3 to 5 seconds, then you will go to the settings or the control center, and you can also power off your Ledger device that way. From now on, we will be using both Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Live app simultaneously during the setup process. Since we're already on Ledger Live, then we will proceed to the next step. Alright, so we are going to choose Setup as New Device. So to select that feature, we will click both buttons at the same time. Now is the time to choose your PIN code. You can choose from 4 to 8 digits according to your preference, but for me, I would choose the 8 digits for the maximum security. When you choose the PIN, you can use the right button to move up the digit and use the left button to move down the digit. So for example, let's say I choose 4 as the first digit. So if I'm sure that I'm going to choose 4, then I'm going to press both buttons, and now we are going to move to the next digit. Same process, we're going to use both buttons to move up the digit or move down the digit. But if you're sure that you're going to choose a particular digit, then press both buttons to continue and continue until you are satisfied with your PIN code. Let's say you want to remove or erase a digit, you can simply do that with the backspace feature like on your computer. And to do that, we will use the left button to scroll all the way down to 0 and press one more, and now you see the backspace icon. So if you press both buttons at the same time, and now it's being erased. And same thing for this second digit. If I want to remove this digit, then I'm going to choose the backspace button and then press both buttons at the same time to remove. And for confidential purposes, I'm not going to show my PIN codes in this tutorial. Since I have confirmed my PIN codes, now it's time for me to jot down the recovery phrase. Now it says write down your recovery phrase. So this is a step where you need to jot down your recovery phrases. That's the 24 words that will give you access to your cryptos, and always keep those recovery phrases somewhere safe and only where you have access to. And also please don't save it in your computer or your phone because they have access to the internet. Basically, your electronic devices can be compromised. And the only way to secure your recovery phrases is to use a piece of paper or even use the recovery sheets provided by Ledger and write down the recovery phrases on those cards. And it says your device will generate 24 words and they are your recovery phrase. And Ledger won't ask you for those recovery phrases. And if someone is asking your recovery phrases and pretending that they are from Ledger, then beware and red alert because it's spam, 100%. Because Ledger already makes sure that they are not going to ask you for your recovery phrases and they do not have access to them. So I'm going to click continue. It is your only backup to restore your accounts if needed. And those recovery phrases are the only backup to restore your crypto. And if someone were to have access to those recovery codes, you can say bye-bye to your cryptos. It says write down on your recovery sheet in the correct order. So you need to make sure that every word is in the right order and you cannot just jot down as you wish. For example, if the word speed is your first recovery phrase, then you have to jot down speed as the number 1 on your list. Alright. So the first word for me is invite. So on the recovery sheet here, then I will put the word invite as the first word, and after that I will have to scroll to the next word. After jotting down the first word, then you will click the right button to continue for the second word, and you will repeat the same process for the next 23 times to be able to complete the 24 word C phrase. So now it's my turn to jot down those 24 words. Now it's time for me to verify all those 24 words that I jotted down on a piece of paper. For this verification step, you will need to put in each word in the correct order. It says press left to verify. So now I'm going to click both buttons to continue. So let's start with the first word. We are given a bunch of options to choose from, but we have to choose the right word that we jotted down on a piece of paper. So the first word that we have is invite. So I'm going to click confirm by pressing both buttons at the same time. Same thing for the second word. We will choose from the given options and scroll until we find the word that we have jotted down. So from now on, and you will do this verification process until you reach word number 24. For now, I'm going to put in my 24 words, so I'll leave it to myself. So after confirming your 24 words, and you will reach to this screen. So it says your recovery phrase is set and keep it in a secure place. So I'm going to proceed to the next step. It says if lost, stolen, or forgotten, all your assets will be immediately lost. So always keep your recovery phrases in a secure location and make sure only you have access to them. Now let's move on to the next step, and it says never share with anyone else, and Ledger will never ask you for it. And then press both buttons to continue. Now it's processing and we are going to go to the dashboard. It says now your device is ready, and go to the dashboard. Alright, so now we're going to install the app. Now let's turn to Ledger Live app and proceed to the next step so that we can start installing the app. And then it says your PIN code is the first layer of security. It physically secures access to your private key and your Nano. Your PIN code must be 4 to 8 digits long, but we have already set it up, so we can skip this step. Now choosing PIN codes, but we have already done that, and let's click the next step. So for example, if you have 3 wrong entries for your PIN code, then Ledger will automatically reset the device. So if your Ledger device falls into the wrong hands, and if they try to access your code by trying out different PIN codes, and if they have wrong entries for 3 times, then your Ledger device will be reset, which is more of like the safety feature. You can click pause to read it, or when you set up your Ledger device, you can read those on your own. Here is the recovery phrase step where we jot down 24 words on a piece of paper, and since we have already done it, we can proceed to the next step. Right? So take your recovery sheet and write down 24 words. Next step, and it says confirm your recovery phrase for all the 24 words. Since we have already done it, I'm going to click the next step. So this is about recovery phrase, and let's say if you lose your Ledger device, how can you get access to your cryptos? It is by getting another Ledger device and typing in your recovery phrase, then you can get access to your crypto device. So this is about recovery phrase, and for example, if you lose your Ledger device, you can still have access to your crypto. It is by getting another Ledger device and put in your 24-word recovery phrase, then you will have access to your cryptos on the blockchain. So I'm going to click get started and then hide your recovery phrases. Alright, so I'll click I'm done and then get started. Now we have to answer 3 questions to solidify our understanding on cryptocurrencies and cold storage wallet. So let's jump on it. So the first one is, as a Ledger user, my crypto is stored on the blockchain. The idea is your cryptos are never stored on Ledger device, but it is stored on the blockchain. Alright, if my recovery phrase is no longer secure or private, then your cryptos are not safe and you need to transfer them to a secure place. So at this point, you will have to set up a new recovery phrase. Alright, question 3. When I connect my Nano to Ledger app, my private key is still offline. That is correct, because your private key is stored in your Ledger device. It says your private key always remains offline in your hardware wallet. Even when connected to your Nano, the Ledger app cannot access your private key. You must physically authorize every transaction on your device. This is the beauty of having cold storage wallet, and you have the full control on your cryptocurrencies. Finally, you are already a pro. So now you are ready to safely manage your crypto, and only one quick step left. So let's click next step. This step is to check your Ledger device whether it's been tampered with or is genuine. So now we are going to check it right now. Check my Nano. It says unlock the device. Now I'm going to type in my PIN again to access my Ledger Nano. So now basically we're using both Ledger Live app and the Ledger device simultaneously to confirm the access. So I'm gonna allow the Ledger manager. Alright, so it says all good. Your Ledger Nano X is genuine and ready to use with Ledger Live. So I'm going to click continue. Awesome. So right now we have Ledger Live version 2.51.0 and we're going to click continue. And now we're on the portfolio tab and let's move on to my ledger. One thing to keep in mind, if you see this orange bar with update firmware to version something is available, always update the firmware because you will have access to the latest version of Ledger Live. So now I'm going to click update firmware. So it's talking about what's inside the firmware version 2.0.2 and it has better user experience, better user interface, and all other fixes. So I'm going to click I have my recovery phrase and click continue. So now we're in the process of downloading the update. Please wait for the update installer to be downloaded. Awesome. Now we have the new firmware and it says please confirm the update on your device. So I'm going to proceed on my device and then click confirm update. So now it's processing. We're on the second step. It says wait for the firmware to update and unlock your device with your PIN. So again, I'm going to type in my PIN. So I have put in my PIN code and it says firmware updated. And now it's time for us to install the apps. Install apps. It says allow Ledger Manager on your device, so allow. Alright, here we have a list of apps that support each cryptocurrency. So for example, if you want to store Bitcoin, then you will need to install the Bitcoin app. Same thing goes to Ethereum or Dogecoin or Cardano, whatever cryptocurrency that you want to buy and store on Ledger Nano X, then you will need to install that particular app. But for this tutorial, I'm going to install Bitcoin app and Ethereum app. So click install. Alright, so on the device, it shows Bitcoin now. So the Bitcoin app has been installed. And I'll do the same thing for Ethereum app. Click install. Now we're installing Ethereum app here. Now on the device, it shows the Ethereum app and Bitcoin app. So after installing the crypto app like we did here, we need to set up accounts. It's like setting up bank accounts like checking accounts and saving accounts where your cryptos will be stored in. And like the bank accounts, you can set up multiple accounts for checking accounts and multiple savings accounts. So the same concept applies to crypto wallets. Now I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example. So click add account, and so for the first step, it says open the Bitcoin app on your device. So open Bitcoin app, and now Bitcoin is ready. Cool. So now it's loading. Here we have Bitcoin 1 as a default example, but if you want to change the name, like let's say, for example, I'll use my name, Hein BTC. So I can do that and then click yes, and then add accounts. So now Bitcoin wallet is set up and I can transfer my Bitcoin that I purchased on Coinbase to my Bitcoin wallet on Ledger Live app. And now I can go to accounts, and here we have Hein BTC that I just set up, and if I click this one, it will show buy or receive. And if you want to transfer Bitcoin from other exchanges to your Bitcoin wallet on Ledger Live app, then you will click receive. And I'm going to choose my wallet since this is my wallet that I just set it up. Click continue. And so this is the address for the Bitcoin wallet that I just set it up. And I need to verify this string of alphabets and numbers with what's shown on my Ledger device. So it starts with BC1 and ends with NA2. So correct. So I can proceed and then click approve. So it's approved, and now the address is shared securely. Okay, if you want to re-verify, you can do that, but I'm gonna click done. So this is how you transfer your Bitcoin or BTC from other wallets or other crypto exchanges to your Ledger wallet through Ledger Live app. That's a wrap for now. I hope you get a ton of value out of this tutorial. So by the end of this video, you will learn how to set up your Ledger Nano X to store your cryptocurrencies. And if you appreciate the time that I put in to create this content, please click the like button down below. I would really appreciate it. And also, if you have reached until this far, then please comment down below cold storage wallet so that I know that you have watched until the very end, and I would thank you for your support. For my next video, I would do a tutorial on how to transfer your cryptocurrencies from crypto exchanges to Ledger wallets. So that would be a very interesting topic on top of this setup video. So if you're interested for that video, please subscribe my channel so that you can get updates when I upload that video. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.